Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today we're going to be looking at the 2018 gubernatorial elections if based off Donald Trump's approval rating. So the way we'll be referring to each of these states is I will call it disapprove plus one or approve plus one depending on which one. I'm pretty sure you guys can all figure it out, but let's take Maine for example. His current approval rating is -1 because 1% more people in Maine disapprove than approve of him in terms of Donald Trump. So that means I will refer to it as disapprove plus one, and of course for the approval rating, if more people approve than disapprove, I will say approve plus whatever number. So that number was true for Maine. So Maine narrowly tilts in the favor of the Democrats because of the approval rating for the president in that state. So essentially, if he's disapproved, it goes to the Democrats. If it's approved, it goes to the Republicans. So here's where this map could actually be very beneficial towards the Democrats compared to where we see right now. Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts all have negative approval ratings of the president and are Republican right now. My home state of Maryland, Michigan, Wisconsin, a couple of other states, but also some of these Democratic states do have a positive approval rating of the president, so keep that in mind when we look at some of these races. We have 7 Republicans, 8 Democrats. New Hampshire, and this is a number that shouldn't be too surprising, but actually it is compared to Maine, disapprove plus 11 in the state of New Hampshire. Over in Vermont, disapprove plus 21. Massachusetts, disapprove plus 25. I did not mean to flip New Hampshire, but that means so far we have a total. Why? What? Okay, I'm just going to go down here. That gives us a total of 4 flips, and those are the only 4 calls we have made right now, so that's very interesting. Connecticut and Rhode Island. Connecticut actually is likely because it's disapprove plus 13, and Rhode Island is disapprove plus 18. We go over to New York, disapprove plus 21. That's how, you would expect that because it is a state like New York. It is a very Democratic state. Disapprove plus 22 in the state of Maryland, which means that one flips from red to blue if you compare it. But that puts the Democrats at 15 and the Republicans at 7. It's starting to look like an electoral map compared to whatever map this would show. But 15 Democrats, 7 Republicans. We're going to start going into areas where the Democrats are also going to do a little bit better. In Pennsylvania, this one goes to the leaning column for the Democrats because it's disapprove plus 5 for Donald Trump. Here in Ohio, it's disapprove plus 8. But then we go down to South Carolina. It's approve plus 13, which means that South Carolina goes to the Republicans, actually in the likely column, sorry, not the safe column. Over in Georgia, it's approved plus 5, so that means the Republicans have a win there. In Florida, it is approved plus 5 as well, so it's a win for the GOP there. In Alabama, it is approved plus 30, so very, very high, easily goes to the GOP. In Tennessee, it is approved plus 15, so that finishes off in the likely column for the Republicans, putting them at 12 seats. But then we go over to West Virginia, actually, not West Virginia. We can go over to Michigan, where it's a disapprove plus 8. So that state goes in the likely column for the Democrats. In Wisconsin, it is disapprove plus 13. So that also goes in the likely column for the Democrats. Illinois goes into the safe column for the Democrats, putting them at 20 because the disapproval rating is plus 20. In Iowa, it is disapprove plus 4, so that one goes into the leaning column for the Democrats. Minnesota is disapprove plus 15, so that goes into the likely column for the Democrats. No election in Missouri, but Arkansas, approve plus 15. That one goes into the likely column. So we've pretty much finished off half of the United States. Most of the states at 22 Democrats and 13 Republicans. Before we had 16 Democrats, we already have 22, and we have a couple other races to characterize. Compare this map to that map, a whole lot more blue than before. But now we can go down. We can go over to Texas, approve plus 10, so that goes in the likely column. Oklahoma is approved plus 16. It goes into the safe column. Kansas approved plus 6. That goes into the likely column, but Nebraska is approved plus 5, which is very interesting considering it is a very solid GOP state, but approved plus 5 puts it into the leaning column. South Dakota puts it in the likely column with approved plus 14. And we can go over to Wyoming, where his approval rating is plus 24%. However, in Colorado, it is disapproved plus 13. In New Mexico, it's disapproved plus 12. Those 2 states now flipping. One of them is flipping, but you can compare the map here. A whole lot more blue than before. But that puts the Democrats at 24. So Arizona, very interesting. Right now, has a positive and negative approval rating that is equal for the president in Arizona. So I'm going to put this one in the tote column for the GOP because I usually characterize this race as a GOP win. But considering that it is a tied approval rating, there is no pure toss-up like a yellow thing that I could characterize showing that this race isn't just uncalled. It's just no characterization can be made. So I'm going to put it into the tilt GOP column because of the fact that I currently always project this race as for the GOP. We'll usually project this race as going for the GOP. So I'm going to trust my own intuition about this and put it in the GOP column. But Idaho approved plus 14, so it puts it in the likely column. Nevada is disapproved plus 8. That one goes in the likely column for the Democrats. California is disapproved plus 22. Oregon is disapproved plus 18. Hawaii is disapproved plus 23. But Alaska is approved plus 10. So Alaska goes towards the Republicans, flipping from the independent column, which isn't too unexpected considering that this race probably will still go to the GOP regardless. But 28 Democrats, 22 Republicans, a lot more blue on that map than before based off Donald Trump's approval rating. Compare it here, 16 Democrats, 33 Republicans. There's a huge flip here. A whole number of races get characterized in from blue. That looks like from 2004 to the 2008 map, but for the electoral map. But thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I will see you all tomorrow.